Thank you so much for waiting, guys. We were having some technical difficulties at the beginning, and hopefully they get solved halfway through. Yeah, Timothy, always Timothy. But it should be fine now. But in today's Market Buzz episode, make sure to stay until the end because we're talking about some interesting topics. We're going to discuss the crypto markets, the AI revolution. Is it on hold or ooh, oh my
Or a
goodness.
bubble.
I keep having issues too.
Are you okay?
Wait. Yeah, give me a second. I messed something up. Oh, no. But yeah, you guys, XO. Pretty much, I can hear myself double. So many issues. Have a look. All right. All
Sorry,
right.
everyone.
So that should be a bit better. My goodness. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Every time. Every time. I wish it was easy. But yeah, okay. So in this episode of Market Buzz, we're going to be talking about the crypto markets. We got Mimi and Timothy, where they're going to be touching on a couple of interesting investments that they're looking at. And we're also going to talk about the overall market. Should we sell? Should we buy? Right now, I mean, kind of, it's a scary place to be at all-time highs, you know? Investors tend to panic at all-time highs and all-time lows. So we'll see what happens here. And make sure to stay until the end to figure out what we are thinking because we are going to try to come up with something here. But yeah, I mean, we have videos every Thursday, so don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. We talk about the markets, we talk about the opportunities that we see in the markets, and we talk about the rumors, and maybe you get some trading opportunities. So join the community and make sure to hit that like. All right, but
We
yeah,
are
first things
here
first.
to make you money.
We are
Well, not financial advice. We're just giving you
exactly.
our very
I
subjective
am here
opinion.
to make you money.
Oh man, it's so good, so good. But
All
yes, I
right.
mean, but yeah, let's go. Let's get it started. So Timothy is showing something right now. So let's have a look at what it is.
S&P. S&P
Markets
all-time
at
high.
all-time high. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
it's incredible, right? No big pullback since April lows, and yeah, it just keeps climbing even with a shutdown. We said it in the last stream that these shutdowns are to be ignored, or if there's a
Mhm.
dip to be bought. But there was no dip. There was only green dildos. That's all I see.
My goodness, my goodness.
Your
But
favorite thing. Your favorite thing.
yeah. Oh
Shh,
my
don't tell.
goodness. Like as long as it continues to go green, I don't mind. I don't mind. But
Yeah.
yeah, let me show something. Let me show something interesting that I wanted to touch on, Timothy. Here. Let me show you here. Do the entire screen here, right? And then it's like it's interesting because the market is sitting green, 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 but there is some weakness starting Q3, right? So this is month to date, so we are only 9 days into the month, into Q3 as well, and we can see that we are going back towards the AI trade. A lot of euphoria in AI with AMD going 47%, Micron 16, Intel even 11%. So we are also seeing a move to healthcare, and we are seeing that like home builders and financials are taking a hit as Q3 starts. So we are seeing some interesting opportunities in the market starting to open up. Energy is something I want to talk about later on, but it seems that at least markets are kind of happy. It's like, yeah, financials are a little bit lower, but the S&P overall is still at all-time highs, right? And even if we go to like the week, because we had some crazy news in the AI story, right? We have two stories that I want to touch on in the AI revolution and the AI sort of investing theory. But if we go to the weekly, so if we go to the week performance, right, we can see that it's still the AI revolution peaking, right? So it's going to be very interesting to see how this continues to develop because we just continue to see highs and highs and highs. I mean, Nvidia is sitting at 192, potentially touching 200 very, very soon. My expected price for Nvidia is sitting at 200. AMD just had a monster rally. right? With AMD hitting almost 240, it continues to just
Open
break.
AI.
AI story, right? So it's interesting because this week on markets, on Monday, markets spooked a little bit because of Oracle, right? They apparently it had to do with the margins that could potentially come from the AI chips, and Oracle found found a footing. We're sort of back to where we were just before the news came out. There's a lot of questions that come from the article because they don't give you details. Apparently, it's leaked information. We don't really have the details, so it's something to pay attention to as earnings come up. This is something that we're gonna have to be paying attention going forward. But yeah, I mean, like this is one of the reasons we're kind of scared on here, right? And it's the fact that OpenAI, like Nvidia right now is making deals with everybody, and OpenAI is making deals with every single person in the sector. So the big question goes down to is can OpenAI continue to produce capital like cash in order to pay for all of the contracts that they're signing up for? I mean, we have promises of hundreds of billions of dollars by 2026. The question is, can we meet those, right? So it's gonna be scary. It's a scary time. You know, a lot of people are looking for the weakness in the theory, and right now we're starting to see a little bit of fear and weakness here because this could spiral downwards as well, right? Like we're seeing that they're starting to work together towards creating cash flow, creating revenue. But the question is, what happens to the downside? So this is something to pay attention to. Again, the story is it's only like a small detour. I think I still continue to believe that AI story will last the next 10 years, but something to pay attention for sure. Something to pay attention for sure. And then, yeah, what are you guys seeing right now in the crypto sphere?
Really good question. I mean, I think like with crypto, same with stocks, same with the stock market as well. It feels like I think everyone feels a little bit uneasy. I know we've spoken about this. Um, Everyone feels a little bit uneasy. It's either going to be a breakthrough or breakdown temporarily, and I am of the opinion right now that we are in bear trap territory. Everybody feels like the market is going to go down. Bitcoin in particular, look, I've spoken. I always start my weeks with like a weekly post, an overview of what I'm seeing, and things are playing out as it is. And I did see that Bitcoin was going to retrace, and I'm open to the fact that Bitcoin could go down to the 118,000, 119,000 level, healthy retracement. But I I just have this feeling that because everyone can see those liquidity pockets, that they're expecting that, and so a lot of people are shorting the market, shorting Bitcoin. I just have this feeling that it's a bear trap right now, and it could whatever will happen if the rally happens soon, it's going to take everyone by surprise. I wouldn't say if, when it happens, it would take everyone by surprise. And that's how I see crypto. Bitcoin dominance is going up. That's why everybody's alts are bleeding against Bitcoin. Alt season isn't here. Everyone's frustrated. But so long as Bitcoin dominance is still solid and rising, which I do think that it will tick up to just over 60%, which would still be a lower high, and then collapse from there. Alts won't do anything until Bitcoin dominance goes down. It's still Bitcoin season, still Bitcoin in the spotlight. Timothy.
Yeah.
We want to
So
know.
I personally, I was very surprised to see Bitcoin just move up from what was it, 108K to 126K. That's a massive move we saw in just a couple of days, in less than 2 weeks. So honestly, I think we discussed we were expecting like one sweep lower before a move higher, and then suddenly I remember in the chat we were talking like, whoa, if Bitcoin is going to reclaim 118K, it's off to the races. And yeah,
Yeah.
on the same day, it reclaimed that level and it was YOLO time. So actually, once Bitcoin broke that level, I was pretty confident that the new weekly uptrend had started and that for the next
Yeah.
couple of weeks at least, we're gonna see some bullish momentum. Now, don't be mistaken, there's gonna be a lot of volatility. You're gonna see a lot of shakeouts to the downside and a lot of shakeouts to the upside. So you have to sit comfy in your spot positions, knowing that the market is likely to move very volatile. So make sure it's like a bull you're riding, and it's getting there to shake you out, and you really have to keep on holding to make sure you don't lose your positions, because every time again you're gonna sell and then buy back higher. So
Yeah.
for this last leg higher, this could be the last one. So I said to myself, I'm buying now. So I bought during the last big correction to 107K. That's where I bought most of my altcoins. And now I'm basically saying for the next 3 to 4, even 5 weeks, I'm just gonna sit and do nothing. So of course, if Bitcoin would drop below key support level, below that 107K level again, that would be a bit of a tricky level to break. But as long as it can just continue the uptrend without turning into a weekly downtrend, I'm just staying into altcoin positions, because like you said, we might see another move in Bitcoin dominance higher, but eventually we're gonna see some speculation happen. We're gonna see Bitcoin dominance drop, and that's when the stronger altcoins, I'm not saying every altcoin, but the strong altcoins can really outperform Bitcoin. And just looking at the timeline, I mean, Bitcoin dropped $2,000 in one day, and you have constantly people saying it's the end, the cycle is over. So sentiment is totally not euphoric. So we're really not at the end phase yet. We're gonna see it where there is a time where everyone is bullish, everyone is gonna scream things are going much higher, maybe double, maybe triple, I don't know. But that's the time when things are euphoric. Right now, everyone is on their toes, everyone is ready to sell in case the market collapse. And that's the time when you actually have to be set in positions, comfy in positions, and don't let them don't let them get lost.
Yeah. And it just goes to show, right, in terms of sentiment, in terms of what is the narrative on, X and social media, everybody, so many were expecting Bitcoin to go below 100,000 in September. And Bitcoin literally bottomed beginning of September. So that's something to really take into consideration all the time. Like, do the opposite most of the time anyway of what the noise is. Do the opposite.
Yeah. It feels that sometimes when the market is just looking for an excuse to like panic, right? And then it's just sometimes it's just like, yep, I'll buy it at a discount. It happens with stocks and it happens in crypto too. Yeah. I was kind of glad I was following you guys. I'm not gonna lie, because I bought some more Bitcoin and Ethereum. So
Nice.
I'm definitely taking advantage of the situation. If not everybody else, but yeah.
Yeah.
So let me ask you guys, what are you guys paying attention to right now? I know Mimi has something that she's been looking at for a while, and everybody in her community is waiting.
I feel like I hope it's not underwhelming when I actually present it, but I am trying to finish an analysis on Crow, which is the native token of crypto.com. Crypto.com is the second largest crypto exchange in the world. And so I'm trying my best to finish that. And I think a lot of question is, because Crow made that massive surge from, what was it, 15 cents to nearly 40 cents in a matter of days. And so that made everyone incredibly like super FOMO. And the question is, okay, so you have BNB, the monster that's been rising slowly lately, BNB, Binance Coin. So BNB belongs to Binance, the largest exchange, crypto exchange in the world, in terms of trading volume. And then you have Crow, which is crypto.com's token. So
Correct.
the question is, will Crow be the next BNB? Now, I know it logically sounds like it, but look, I am bullish on Crow long term. Let me just try and make this really short, because I have been just in this analysis for almost a week now. Crow, I am long term bullish. It is not the next BNB, in my opinion, because Binance have their own ecosystem, and what makes a token or ecosystem incredibly valuable, like Ethereum, is the developer activity. So the more activity on it, the more development on it, the higher the market cap, the more it grows. Crow is just more like it's all about staking and cashback and all of that. It's not so much about, it doesn't have that same developer type kind of ecosystem about it as Binance does, as BNB does. So I wouldn't say that it would become a giant like BNB, but we've also, I think the way the market cap will grow is through partnerships. So crypto.com, in terms of partnerships, it's also a giant in that space. So many partnerships, so much development in that. And so that I'll keep that really briefly. That's what I'm watching now. And I've been DCAing in Crow. And in terms of price targets, I think that's what all people want to hear is, what are my price targets for Crow? And conservatively, but just based on TAs alone, 60 cents from here, and extremely bullish case, 90 cents, but long term, I think it could be higher.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know your community's been wanting to hear this, the Crow analysis, Like I remember
Crow,
I bought
yes.
CRO. I bought CRO like back when they had the credit card. Like they still have the benefits, right? But I bought it for the benefits and they were everywhere, right? And then I ended up losing a ton of money. I bought a peak. Every time I buy crypto, I buy the peak. So it's like, until I started listening to you guys is when I started getting good entries. So
you won't be exit liquidity anymore. Sorry.
But thank God it was only a little bit, it was like one of the small cards. So I was like, okay. And then, their fee structure is a little bit tricky, is where I find. But again, I haven't paid too much attention to them,
Yeah.
BNB,
Crow's not going anywhere.
Monster.
Yeah.
So it's just been like a crazy rally. Like I remember when it hit 300 during the FTX.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. But yeah.
Timothy,
what are you looking at? Whoop, sorry.
No, go.
So I've actually been looking at financial stocks. Like you said, Nestor, there's some opportunities there. So I've actually been buying on my personal account, not on Etoro, because I basically bought a dip in altcoins and now I have zero money, so I'm all in there. So now I'm just buying on my personal account SPGY, which is just the company that releases the S&P ETFs and all other trackers. So basically you're betting that the S&P is continuing to exist and people are gonna keep on paying the fees and the research for it. So my valuation for it sits around 530 and it's now trading at 480. So that's a decent correction. And you should know SPGY is almost never undervalued. So this is a rare opportunity in my opinion. And then I also added FactSet, which is another research company and got hammered pretty hard. So you can see the chart going back all the way to 2020. But I would not say that it's better than SPGY, but the whole financial sector is going down. So it's definitely an overreaction. And it's still a good company. If you go check the earnings, they are still making money consistently. But I wouldn't say like it has a white mode because I still think SPGY is way better. You have the other financial stock, MSC. Why is it? Yeah. This is another financial stock. Just trading, not very far away from its all-time high, but it's like SPGY. It's the same category. So all these financial stocks haven't made either all-time highs or had a big correction recently. So I'm watching those stocks actually to add to my portfolio because financial stocks were very hype a few months ago, and now they are getting some backlash. So I think now it's time to enter some, and we might see the healthcare take the scene instead of financial stocks. We've been saying it for a long time. Stocks like UNH are now getting a bit more attention. So we are seeing some rotation, and when something is hyped, you have to look at what's out of rotation. It was healthcare stocks, but now healthcare stocks are getting into rotation, and people are getting their attention on the new shiny object. That means you have to look at what's going down, and in this case, I'm starting to look at financials. So this could take another few
Yeah.
months maybe, but eventually these stocks will recover.
Yeah, one of the reasons I
Mm.
entered into JP Morgan was because the company, like I remember the Silicon Valley Bank created an opportunity for entry, right? And then we saw that rally just because people were looking for safety. So the big banks, Bank of America, JP Morgan, Citi, Wells Fargo, they all sort of found some sort of safety because people were putting money in big banks, right? Now we're going to see potentially as interest rates start coming down, we could see them like lose a little bit of steam, which is what I think is happening currently, just because like they used to make the difference, right? So for all deposits that they kept, they'll make the difference. But man, Tom Lee has this beautiful analysis on banking, and it says with the AI build out that we're seeing, we could see banks like cut their workforce, and then we could see them running on like bare bones, so like cutting their costs drastically, and potentially seeing companies like Bank of America, JP Morgan having PE ratios of technological companies. Right now, I think JP Morgan is sitting at what, 15 PE? Because like the way that you value banks is through like their balance sheet, right? Like how big is their balance sheet? But JP Morgan right now, if we were to see potentially like let's say earnings were to stay the same, but we were to see like technology companies PEs, like we could see potentially at like 30 to 40% rise on the price alone in the next coming years. So
Mm.
I'm paying very close attention to the developments that they're starting to put, because stable coins could play out massively for the banks here. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Even for companies like Visa and MasterCard too. That's cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
The banks right now, like there are opportunities, like, and funny enough that you say this, because like a lot of people would say, oh, continue to invest in AMD, Nvidia, and all of the big winners that they've seen massive rallies. But right now I'm looking to diversify a little bit with my gains, right? I'm not looking to exit. I'm not looking to short Nvidia or AMD or the big names like Intel, but I'm looking for diversification. So on my desk right now, I'm looking at the rest of the stack, right? So let me show you a picture real quick here, right? Which is part of my research. And by the way, I'm going to share this with everybody, so I'll share the link at the end. So make sure to check it out. But um, I'll show you here.
Make sure to
Yeah,
check out our links on Etoro.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Make sure to check out the links down below on Etoro, and make sure to check out Timothy's course. But yeah, this is very raw. Like I'm just like starting my Mara. I believe in Mara Dragos. I believe in Mara. And I think it's starting to get poised towards like booming. Like it's holding at 20, and if we continue to see like hitting the top, we could potentially see a boom. But we'll still have to see. It has to do with Bitcoin, and it has to do with the AI revolution. But this is super interesting, right? Like this is what I want to share here, right? This is the data center investment breakdown, right? We saw capital expenditures go from 240 billion last year, like that it was expected to go, all the way to 360 by the hyperscalers, right? And 50% is going to silicon and compute, right? That's fantastic, right? Okay. What
Mm.
can we do with that, right? That's Nvidia's, that's the AMD's, that's the big names, right? But all those names are extremely overvalued, right? Or not extremely overvalued, but they have to grow into their valuations. I don't think, for example, I think Nvidia is cheaper than it was before the whole AI revolution. But what we're seeing is that there is other companies right now that potentially have not seen that increase yet. So companies like in the power infrastructure, we saw companies like First Solar, Fluence, which are batteries and solar energy. Companies like Vertiv and GE Vernova, which are for cooling systems and HVAC systems, which is boring companies, but are companies that could still create opportunities as time goes by. And we're starting to see that diversification from the big names into other names that could benefit from the build out phase as well. Because this is a 10-year story, right? Like many people think that it's like, oh, they're just not going to sell chips next quarter. But the reality is that the commitment that these companies are doing, the build out that they're doing is based on a 10-year, 15-year horizon, right? So I'm looking for companies that could benefit from this, right? And I'm starting to sort of like get in here kind of like starting to analyze what companies could benefit from this, right? And these are the watch lists that I'm paying attention to right now. I'm still developing this, so yeah, take this with a grain of salt. But there's a bunch of different companies that could potentially benefit from the current build out phase, right? Companies like, I think Fluence and batteries could potentially benefit from this, because like we're seeing, for example, like the Colossus too. So this is some of the research that I've seen is like 6 months ago this was like this, right? And we're seeing in 6 months a build out to this size. So all of a sudden it's like we're going from 100,000 GPUs to 1,000,000 GPUs. So whatever infrastructure that we've seen and whatever build that we've seen so far is from old infrastructure that's just getting renewed. And we still have a lot more to do. And then the new build out phase that we're seeing, buying land, getting the permits, all of these different things could potentially bring massive capital towards many other companies, not only the chip companies. So if you want to diversify and take advantage of this, the story continues to be the same. So I'm paying attention to them right now. Some of the companies that I can sort of mention for like that I've done my research is like, yeah, the AMDs and the NVIDIAs for sure will go up. But companies like SMCI, companies like, like I'm paying attention to GEV, like GE Vernova, like it's these companies like gas turbine manufacturers, all of these different ways that we're gonna, because apparently the biggest problem right now is the energy constraint. And how are we gonna meet that energy constraint? Batteries, I'm paying attention to. If Tesla sold its energy, I would be so excited. But the problem is, like you have the Elon premium on Tesla, But I'm paying attention. Fluence is another company that's working on systems and software and battery systems. First Solar, also solar energy. So those are companies that I'm paying attention to. And another one that it's super interesting, it's Micron with their DRAM. So apparently, OpenAI will take 40% of the global supply of DRAM in the next couple of years. So it's like it's just like we're seeing if OpenAI executes, which it's definitely possible, we could see like demand for every single part of the stack continue to boom. So something to pay attention to. Don't just look at the winners. Continue to expand and learn more about the sector, because you never know what can benefit you from this, right?
Yeah, so, I'm definitely going to pay attention to companies that are potentially going to partner with OpenAI. I mean, I've watched like so many of Sam Altman's interviews. Like, he's a genius, and just the same as Elon. Like, I'm long on Tesla as well. I know it's a bit controversial for some, but and you say there's an Elon premium, but Tesla, like it's yeah, they're gonna take it far. They're gonna take it far, and I really think that the next 5 years, from here to 2030, where people will create generational wealth is in the AI space, in the tech space. It's a no-brainer. Is it bubbly? Yeah, of course. Like with innovation, it's anything that when innovation comes around, like there's always a bubble. But yeah, it's just about picking the winners and just waiting. I'm going to be definitely investing more in that space over time, even after the crypto cycle and with this bull cycle for crypto, which is another question. Like, is it going to be an extended cycle? Is another question.
So make sure to hit the like and subscribe to find out. But yo, Timothy, how are you doing with time?
Yeah, gotta go.
Okay. So I'll stay with Mimi a little bit longer. There's a couple of questions. I don't know. I'll throw it at you if you want to take it, but it has to do with pudgy penguins.
Oh my gosh.
Of
course.
Pengu in my Etoro portfolio now, so I'm a proud owner of the meme. Yeah.
What? Whose financial advice? Nobody's. Your own analysis.
Thank you, Mimi.
I'm gonna get sued.
Yeah, I'll put you in the backstage. That way you can upload. Well, I don't know if you will upload. Yeah, it should. I'll put you backstage.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Timothy.
Okay.
All right. So hopefully Timothy uploads, but we'll figure it out when it happens. But yeah. So what do you think of pudgy penguins? It's like because I have a take on the NFT trade. I saw Pengu. At least from last time. Is Pengu?
Pudgy penguins is Pengu. Pengu's that's why Pengu did so well. So that's why Pengu is pudgy penguins. And yeah, it's really popular. And that's why I was very bullish on Pengu. I think Pengu is going to do well. Not financial advice. It's a meme coin. It could collapse, but there's just the community around that is so strong, and there's so much hype around it. I'm just dabble, dip my toes a little bit, invest a little bit, just like you have. But yeah, NFTs are coming back.
Yeah. I put a little bit. The thing is just like what I see with NFTs is just whenever people have a lot of money in their bank accounts, they start figuring out ways to kind of diversify into other assets. And sometimes NFTs are it,
Yeah.
It shows you,
Yeah.
right? Like even what I was talking to you about the other day, right? The CS2 skins, right? It's like the Counter-Strike skins, right? It's a $5 billion market cap. Just the skins market alone. And it's like, and why do people buy them? Because like they find like it has to do with like the art sector and like what you want to own and what you want to spend your money on and what you want to sort of, because like is the Pudgy Penguins have anything to do with like the penguin chat game that used to be? Does it have to do anything with that?
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, like I heard
Club
of
Penguin.
Pengu.
Does it have to do? Okay, does it have to do anything with Club Penguin?
Know.
Okay.
I have no idea. I have no idea. I mean, I heard of Pengu first, and then I looked at the chart, and I'm like, oh wow, nice. And then I'm like, I'm gonna wait until it reaches this level, which I spoke about in one of the streams. And then when I looked into it, I realized it was linked to Pudgy Penguins. So yeah. As for anything else, I have no idea.
It's built on Solana. I know that much. So it's like
well, all meme coins pretty much are built on Solana. So in terms of the Counter-Strike skins, like the thing is, I think what people don't really, I mean, like people do realize, but it hasn't really hit everyone, is that the real world is being shifted to the digital world. It has been for so long, but that's why you have those gaming skins, you have anything that's digital. That's why NFTs are coming back. Art is digitized. Everything will be in the digital world, and that's where the value is going to be. Art, all of that. So it's really a no-brainer.
Value is wherever you spend your time, you know what I mean? And like there's people that play CS. Like I used to play CS. Like I try to go, like I try to play like heavy. Like I wanted to go professional, but not really. But I mean, like you just spend so much time on it, and it's just the skins alone. It buys you this sort of like there's the social credit that you can get from potentially somebody looking at your knife and be like, "Oh, nice, cool knife." You know what I mean? And all this different values starting to add up, and people create value from many different things. Like watches and
and it's also like identity, right? It's like it's creating your digital self on there, and that's why, I mean, I've never played WoW, for example, like World of Warcraft, but people were like, I'm sure people are still really like immersed in that world as well, and people will pay anything for anything in gaming. I used to be a gamer, and I played like Dota back in the day, and I mean, I was at that time so long ago, I was so obsessed that I would pay any money for anything when it came to gaming.
Okay. No, and the thing is, just like it's funny because like these economies start growing, right? So it's like when you start playing a game, you have no money, right? Like when you start playing when you're very young, and then all of a sudden you start having some like additional income, and then the thing you have quite a bit of money, and then maybe you invested in Nvidia, and now you have tons of money. So all of a sudden it's just, if you want to spend it, you know what I mean? All of a sudden, like I think CS went from 100,000 to almost 1 million daily players, right? So it's all of this is demand that is created. So it allows you to sort of like it's like it teaches you a lot about demand and supply in this market too. So
it's where everybody's living now. It's not going away, and gamers are going to earn crypto, and that's why the crypto AI and crypto gaming narrative is so huge, and everything's just integrated.
No, it's true. And we're getting more and more and more integrated. It's like I don't think it's gonna ever stop. And now with the AI, it makes it easier to kind of code and develop those worlds too. Question from Dragos. What are your feelings regarding the ETFs, and when are they gonna get approved? Oh, I was supposed to talk about that. Thank you so much, Dragos. By the way, I'll talk about that later.
The crypto ETFs.
Yeah. So
what are my? Most of them will be approved. The larger ones, specifically the ones linked to the majors, Cardano, Link, Sui, XRP, all of those, Solana. I mean, my feeling they will be approved, and that's another catalyst for crypto, and incredibly bullish for the market. The other thing, this is not ETF related, I forgot to mention also, is that the Clarity Act is still yet to be. It's passed. The houses have passed it, but it yet to be like enforced. So that's another huge catalyst for crypto, and that essentially is what's it like, defining whether crypto is like a security or commodity, and it gets the SEC off the markets back, essentially. So that's a huge one. So when that happens, I just think to the moon.
Fair.
No,
fair. We gotta do an episode, because I want to do an episode on legislation, like the big beautiful bill is an episode that I need to sort of start getting on for sure. But yeah, one thing I wanted to talk about the episode, which was like, one of the problems that we're having right now is the government shutdown. And funny enough, like I'm using betting sites in order to predict what's gonna happen, right?
Wow.
So it's like, because I think it's just like there's gonna be a ton of data whenever the shutdown ends. We're gonna get unemployment data. We're gonna get just like a barrage. Like it's just like one day of tons of data, which could potentially create massive volatility in the markets. But Polymarket is being fantastic to follow along, right? We've seen sort of like, you can see sort of the probabilities based on what people are betting on, and it gives you a very nice view. I think Polymarket predicted the Trump win before anybody else. So so for sure, something to pay attention to. I mean, right now,
what are you finding? What's standing out there in terms of Polymarket?
Like Polymarket, it's just like whenever you have a question, you know what I mean? You can get an idea of how the people that are putting money on decisions like this, it's like they don't have a say on the decision, but they have they definitely research and pay attention, right? Like put your money where your mouth is kind of thing. And here you can actually see where people are actually placing their money based on sort of conversations. For example, like look at this, right? Like all of a sudden it was like the Israeli ceasefire that we were that Trump's talking about yesterday. Boom! All of a sudden you can see where the probabilities are, and then all of a sudden like something changes in the market, and you can see that sort of change there, right? I don't trade on probability markets, but it's something to pay attention to, because I find that when money is involved, you start making like it's almost like playing poker without money and playing poker with money. Whenever you play poker with money, it becomes for real. You know what I mean? So it's like that's the difference here. People are giving you predictions based on where they're putting their capital. So something to pay attention to. It's a like a shifty tool that I'm paying attention to as well.
It's very interesting. Have you somewhat or planning to back testing that?
I wonder. Like the thing is like, because I like maybe like if I find a way to do it, it would be super interesting to figure out, to see whether they figure it out first. Because like it moves, right? Like this is a dynamic market. So whenever you see somebody's trying to make an opportunity in here, I mean, I could, but I have no idea how I would do it. I gotta ask ChatGPT. But for sure, let's have a look. Okay, but anything else you want to touch on?
No, I think that was it. I mean, the only other thing that Jerome Powell speaks today, but I think it's pre-recorded, so it's not live.
So he's not. Well, right now the market is moving on every single little part of sentiment, which is like, it's being super weird, just because it's like, because we have no data. Every single piece of data becomes more and more important. And oh wow, this is super interesting. Yo, Mimi, you might actually enjoy this. Dragos just sent me a link. This is hilarious. Okay, let's have a look. So October 9. I wonder if this goes like more. Okay, it does. Here, let me share this with you real quick. This is hilarious. Polymarket on Bitcoin pricing.
Interesting.
Check this out. It's like, will it be 110, 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%? And it's like 120, 122, 120. So 126 is what we should be ending. It should be ending under 124, or potentially at 124 today at 12 p.m. And then you can go more days. So for example, let's say October 15. Oh, wow. That's interesting. This is very intriguing.
What's it? Okay, so it says
So it's yes. So will the price be above after October 15? It's like yes, it's 78 cents, 26 cents no. So this is like a 1 to 4 return, I think. If
yeah,
you say
yeah,
no. So
yeah.
let's say, for example, it could crash. I think you could, yeah, so it's a 4x pretty much. So it's like 25% chance of happening. So you get paid the rest.
Mm,
That's interesting.
that's very interesting. That is
It'll
very
be,
interesting.
I gotta, like, obviously, like the volumes on this are very low. So you see, it's
Yeah.
like the volume is like almost to $0, $50. So I guess the more money they have in, the more interesting it becomes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's cool.
I mean, I don't think Bitcoin has topped at all. There's so much more room for it to go.
No, I think so too.
And the question really is like, is Bitcoin is the top? It's, I think look, I speak to a lot of crypto traders and investors every single day, and everybody is feeling, uh, what's the word? I wouldn't say uneasy. It's just such a strange place to be in right now. It's such a strange place. And I remember I messaged you as well, and I was like, there is something is going to happen, and the whole this time it's different. It's true, of course it is, but in what way? In what way?
Yeah,
And
history doesn't repeat itself. It rhymes,
yes,
eh?
yes, yes. And I am cautiously optimistic, cautiously excited, and I haven't actually felt like this in a very long time. I've just always just been the last few months. It's just been caution, caution, a little bit short-term bearish, and I could be wrong. Again, I could be wrong. Not financial advice. I just feel, again, I'm just going to repeat myself. Like I feel like it's just such bear trap territory that everybody thinks it's going to crash. Everyone had thought that based on history, Bitcoin had topped a day ago, and they're like, this is it. And I'm just like, this, yeah, the bears are going to get wrecked. And there's so, in terms of liquidity and liquidation levels, there's so much at around 127 and above. So I just think that when it happens, it's just everyone's sort of going to be caught off guard. So for me, like what Timothy has been doing, I'm just positioning myself. Any dips, I'm buying. I'm just buying position, wait. That's really it. I'm not even actively trading as well, because I can't really tell at this very moment whether it's actually going to soar today or it's going to fall. I just have like an idea of where it might go. It's just in
Yeah.
that territory. Yeah.
No, no, it's tricky.
This,
You can feel the tension in the markets right now. Not only in
yeah,
crypto, but everywhere. Just everywhere. It's
yeah,
like how much more can we truly go from here? You know?
yeah.
And it's like people are looking for an excuse to sell, but also the market continues to buy, and it's like wow, insane.
But the altcoin market is at its bottom. So it's different
Yes.
in that world. All the altcoin holders like, what are you talking about? What top? But
Yeah.
yeah, they will have their moment. Not all of them, but they will have their moment.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the truth. Timothy just came back into the chat and he's like, I forgot to talk about Palladium. I have no idea about Palladium. I know that he got
Me
the silver
neither.
trade right. He got silver
Yeah.
so good, and I think silver is going to continue.
You think so? Because I read somewhere someone, like a popular investor or somebody on Etoro, they're thinking of shorting silver.
Ooh,
I don't even.
yeah. Whoever is that, I want to talk to him, because the thing is, just like silver has the one thing that gold doesn't have, which is utility case. You know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see whether demand for silver is gonna pick up, and we could see, like, I think before silver used to be like 80 ounces of silver was like a coin, like an ounce of gold, and then all of a sudden right
Mm,
now it's like sitting almost like at 1,000. So they're saying that silver
mm.
could catch up. I don't know. I have no idea. It's commodities trading. This is the rumor mill. Do your own research. We're not financial advisors. Make sure to check out
Yes.
our portfolios down below. Make sure to get our ideas. Make sure to follow us if you like. But yeah, Timothy's saying the commodity rush 2.0, because I mean we could see the commodities starting, like rare earths, the rare earth trade
Yeah.
could pick up again. So yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say, Mimi, before we call
No,
it a
that's
day?
it. That's
All
it.
right.
That's it. I mean,
Awesome.
I would go on for hours, so that's it for now.
Yeah.
Come back next week, everyone,
Yes.
and I'll share some
Every
more.
Thursday 1:30. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Peace.
Thank you.
All right, and now I need to cancel this. Oh my goodness. And end the stream. End it. Awesome.